They thought we were prey. They thought we were weak. They were wrong. Dead wrong. When the Great Fleet came for humanity, they didn't find slaves, they found death. And by the time they realized their mistake, it was already too late. The probes and scout ships of the Great Fleet first found us on the edge of the galaxy. To them, we were just another species to conquer, another people to enslave. The rulers of the Great Fleet, 3 monstrous empires bound by cruelty, rubbed their hands in glee. A new conquest. Fresh slaves. Easy prey. But then they saw our warships. And the entire galaxy shattered in fear. Alarms screamed. Panic spread like wildfire. The Great Fleet had expected a primitive species, barely crawling into the stars. Instead, they faced an armada 20 times their size. Warships heavier than planetary defenses. Hulls so vast they defied reason. And then, they met us. The Scandi, one of the Great Fleet's empires, sent an invasion force to our borders. A few dozen panic transmissions later, filled with screams and garbled curses, their fleet limped home, barely escaping total annihilation. Because they weren't just fighting warriors. They were fighting monsters. Monsters from a Class 12 death world. The Scandi came from a Class 1 death world. Tough. Brutal. But us? Earth is a nightmare they couldn't fathom. Hurricanes that rip cities apart. Predators that hunt for sport. A planet that wants you dead. And we thrived there. So when the Scandi slavers charged in, guns blazing, expecting a quick slaughter, they found 6 human battleships, a full support fleet, and a colony that laughed at their pitiful attack. Our guns outranged theirs. Our armor shrugged off their shots. Our ships towered over theirs like giants over insects. The Great Fleet's leaders, trembling, called off all invasions. They lied. They schemed. They tried to keep us out. Because they knew the truth. Humans hate slavers. And we were coming for them. The Reckoning. 2 months after first contact, human warships appeared on the edge of Rakai territory, another empire in the Great Fleet. 2,000 ships. Half of them bigger than the Rakai's biggest battleships. And then they saw our sentry cruisers, floating cannons so powerful, one shot could erase half a fleet. The Great Fleet panicked. They begged for peace. They sent diplomats, treaties, hollow promises. But we knew. Because while they smiled to our faces, they still sent slavers in the dark. The Great Fleet wasn't just evil, it was a cancer. 3 empires, Scandi, Rakai, Imako, who had spent thousands of years erasing cultures, devouring worlds, and turning living beings into property. The Scandi used slaves for labor. The Rakai? They ate them. And the Imako? Worse. Far worse. Things I won't say in front of children. But we knew. And we were coming. The escape. We stole a battleship. Filled it with escaped slaves, children, soldiers, broken souls. We dragged a captured Scandi general with us, a trophy of their coming doom. And we ran. Straight to human space. Because the humans? They don't just fight slavers. They erase them. The second we dropped out of warp, human tractors yanked us into a hangar. Their cruisers dwarfed our ship. Their soldiers stormed in, guns ready, then froze. Because they saw the children. The collars. The remote-activated explosives strapped to their necks. A human officer, cold fury in his eyes, turned to his squad. Disarm them. Now. One by one, the collars clicked open. The children sobbed with relief. And then, the Scandi fleet arrived. 200 warships. Demanding we be returned. Screaming that we were property. The human commander didn't hesitate. All ships, fire at will. 30 seconds. That's all it took. 200 ships. Reduced to scrap. The end of the Great Fleet. 6 months. That's how long it took humanity to burn the Great Fleet to the ground. Their capitals fell. Their slave worlds burned. Their leaders begged for mercy. They got none. Because humanity doesn't negotiate with slavers. We erased them. And the galaxy? They learned. The hard way. The Great Fleet thought they ruled the stars. Then they met us. And in 6 months, they were gone. Forever,